Sorry, I didn't mean to breathe on it. That's inappropriate. I shouldn't have breathed on it. I'm sorry. If you buy this, it'll have been aired out from me breathing on it. I'm not putting that in. Is it not worth me being a filthy liar and breaking my own ban for these? Hello, and welcome to a video to where it's just going to be like a podcast, essentially. You can watch and listen or just listen, but I wanted to talk about my next upcoming release, which I personally never really wanted to make videos that were like time stamped in a moment of time that, like, because it's something that's going to be out there forever. I have my project right here and I don't want Mulder to eat it. But essentially, I like videos and content to where you can watch them a year from now and like they're still fairly relevant. But this one is very much breaking my own rules because I want to talk about my upcoming release. And if you watch this in a year, like the release is probably long gone. But I want to talk so much about these. It's just scrunchies and bandanas that I have, and I can't fit it in short form. So we're talking about them today. And I have my computer here because I will talk forever and say nothing, and I just want to make sure that my points are made. Okay, so kind of the catalyst for me making all these items was that I found a moth in my room. I recently moved, well, like a few months ago, and I found a moth in my room, and I've never dealt with moths before. So I panicked because I have a lot of wool yarn in like a little fabric 12 by 12 bin that was just open. And so I panicked and I bought like a big plastic bin. Did not realize I was going to fill that entire thing up. I'll probably post a clip in here of like all of it. And that was really my wake up call of like, I got I got a lot of yarn. I got a lot of like special yarn that it's just special, meaning like it's a wool blend, wool. I got it from a local yarn store, or like it's basically just not your basic acrylic yarn. And I have way more of it than I thought that I did. And I realized, why am I saving it? What am I going to make with this? And I tried a bunch of stuff. I tried making socks. I literally recorded a video that I recorded quite a bit of it. I was actually really proud of myself for keeping up on recording it. And then the last clip that I took, I was like, okay, I'll see you in a couple days when my project's done. That was like 3 weeks ago now. And I don't think that I'm going to finish it, which is a whole other like thing I could talk about forever. But I had all this yarn that I just didn't know what to do with. And then I'm going to blame it all on this post. I saw Wool and the Gang post a little picture talking about like a dupe of a $400 scrunchie, because designers love to make handmade stuff, like knit or crochet stuff, and then charge an absurd amount of price for it. Side note, I feel like they only do that because then they know that crafters are going to make them handmade. Nobody's actually buying that, right? Like nobody's actually buying this $400 scrunchie, right? They're just using it as marketing for the crafters to make it home. I'm not a marketing genius. So I saw that and I thought, I have so much sock yarn like that I tried it out. Let me show you the first one that I made. Well, actually, I lied. This is like the third one. So this was the yarn that I decided to make for my first one. I have literally had this yarn for probably at least 8 years, at least since 2018, because I know what apartment I lived in when I bought this yarn. And at the time when I bought this, I made little necklaces. I made like a little half moon necklace with some tassels. It was 2018. It was so trendy. But I've had a lot of this. And so I was like, oh my God, a scrunchie. I made this the way that the pattern recommended, which was making basically a rectangle, seaming it up on the side, and then seaming it around. I didn't like it. It has a seam in here. I'm telling myself only I notice it. It's fine. It's fine. This one is still going to be up for sale. But because nothing's really wrong with it, it's just not my preference. So when I made this scrunchie, I was like, holy moly, my way of making scrunchies has changed forever because previously I was knitting my scrunchies and I was selling them for about $15. Here's a picture of a couple of them just offhand. And I really like a scrunchie that is like a tube with an elastic in the middle. I don't personally love crochet scrunchies that have like the stitches around the elastic because okay, because I feel like if I put that in my hair, my hair is going to get stuck in the stitches and like I like the elastic contained. So when I realized that there's a crochet version and I'm a whole lot faster at crocheting, that's where all these came from. And then I realized I can have so much fun with these because I have all this yarn that I've not been using. So I don't, you know what? I was going to say, I don't want this to be a show and tell. It's my video. It's going to be a show and tell. You're going to sit here and watch my show and tell. Or not. You can click off whenever. I'm showing you. And we're going over every single one of these because I have a lot to say about it and I want to say it because this is important to me. Yeah. And that's all that matters. So, secondly, let's see. I actually don't remember the actual second one that I made, but man, I don't even know. Like all of the, I'm not a sentimental person. Like my big three, I'm Capricorn Sun, Libra Moon, Taurus Rising, and I don't I don't feel like I'm sentimental, but then I'm looking at these and I'm like, oh my god, they all have a story. So I don't. Maybe I am. Maybe I am. Uh, so starting off with this one, this yarn has a story. This is Malabrigo yarn that I bought from my local yarn store probably about 10 years ago. And it's special because it was the first local yarn store yarn. First local yarn store yarn that I bought myself. Because I remember I was working my first big girl office job and I was like, $25 for a skein of yarn. I can afford that. And I've held on to it ever since because I didn't know what I want to do with it. I found a couple of like just smaller balls of it when I was going through my like special yarn bin and transferring everything over to a closed container. Oh, which by the way, I don't have a moth anymore. I killed it and my cats wanted to eat it. It's the only moth I've ever seen. So, you know what? Was the moth trying like a pivotal part in me discovering all of this yarn and then leading me to this moment, like the butterfly effect, but it's the moth effect? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. So, anyway, about this yarn, I found a bunch of it, like just little individual balls, and I got heartbroken because as I started to work with it, it was falling apart. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Because it's gorgeous. Like, there's a reason I bought this, like, as my first yarn ever. It's so good. It's 100% merino wool, which pretty much all of these are, or a wool blend, but we'll get there. And I got so upset because it was just like disintegrating and I had to throw away so much of it. So I decided that I was going to wind it from the existing ball that it was in and then wind it again so that way if it falls apart, like it falls apart. And then I just won't use that section. Come here. And thankfully, I had enough that like this was structurally sound. I have maybe enough for like one more left that I don't know if I want to make. Like I was gonna keep one of these, but I think I might just keep the extra ball of yarn and then sell both of these. So These are structurally intact. Don't got to worry about these falling apart because I already did the quality control on this yarn before I made it. But this is my baby's first fancy skein of yarn in a scrunchie that now you can own because this color is gorgeous. Like, oh, it's so pretty. Secondly, we're going down memory lane again because this yarn is also another one that is probably more sentimental to me than this one. I got them at around the same time. Yeah, definitely around the same time. This one is incredibly special to me because it is from a yarn dyer Creo that, okay, I tried to be like a little micro influencer back in the day when it was like body positivity and all that stuff. I was the moment. She was the moment. Okay. And at that same time, I did a lot of crocheting and I would post about my crocheting. And I actually don't know how I came across her, but we ended up like kind of chit chatting for a little bit at that time to the point to where, like, I don't know, she was probably like the first yarn dyer, like yarn based creator that I talked to and I found all on my own. Uh, and she's really cool. And so it's really cool that like that was like 10 years ago, probably 10 years ago. And I still have her yarn. I remember I bought this yarn because it was literally the most gorgeous color I've ever seen. Like even on camera, it's not picking up. It's called rose gold, but it is just like the coolest pink, purple, silver, like it's so cool. And I never knew what to do with this yarn. This is another yarn that I made a little necklace of like 10 years ago. But it's single ply, like you can kind of tell. It has this really cool like fuzzy halo on it. And throughout it you can see little specks of like different colors. It's so good. So this is another one that I only had enough yarn to make one scrunchie of. The rest of it I'm going to keep forever because I also don't think that she sells this yarn base anymore or it just was renamed. I can't find the same exact thing on her website that she currently sells, but she still sells this colorway. It's it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Sorry, I didn't mean to breathe on it. That's inappropriate. I shouldn't have breathed on it. I'm sorry. If you buy this, it'll have been aired out from me breathing on it. I'm not putting that in. And next up are these three that these are probably the most recently bought ones besides the bandanas. But with this is also yarn from my local yarn store that I probably bought maybe last year or the year before. No, it was probably last year. But I bought this from my local yarn store. Explain to me why I bought lace weight yarn. I never even made stuff with sock weight yarn. Why did I buy lace weight yarn? So I doubled it up and I made these scrunchies. It is so soft, so soft. It's also 100% merino wool. And with these orange ones, I decided to block one. I think this is the blocked one because the color looks a little different. Because I wasn't sure if it was going to be worth the effort to block it. It just got so soft. It softened up ridiculous. So good. And then this one is unblocked, but like I'm sure with use, it's also going to get so soft. So these two colors, yeah, lace weight, 100% merino wool, perfect. They're so just like luxury to me. And then since I held them double, I did this combo one, which I'm obsessed over this color. And it's so soft. So I guess not much to say about these. besides it comes from my local yarn store, and it's from the brand Dylicious, which is really cool because with their yarn, I looked it up because I have some other yarn that I'm using. Actually, this one, my current project, is also a Dylicious yarn, and this is the one that I looked up. They do limited runs of all of their dyes, and then I remember I got this one on clearance too, so it's discontinued. So this is like all of these are discontinued yarns. Even, well, no, the Malabrigo and the Creo one, they still sell the colorways. This one is a Cascade wool blend. I think I mentioned that earlier, but this one is also a discontinued colorway, so you can't find this anywhere. And then this is also a discontinued colorway, but this will be on my website eventually at the time of recording this. But if you're watching this a year from now, like, I don't know, maybe it's sold. Maybe you have it. I don't know. Weird. Timing on YouTube and future proofing stuff is weird. These are my scrunchies, and these are the tails of my scrunchies, and why each one of the colors are meaningful to me in some sort of way. And considering that I just took 18 minutes of recording to go over all of this, how in the world was I supposed to squeeze this down into 30-second short form videos pointing? And I don't know. I'm just going to come talk to you about this, about my scrunchies. Oh, I forgot it. I forgot these. Okay. So this is also sock yarn that I bought like 10 years ago. Again, this is just regular. It's Patton's Croy sock yarn, which you can find at Michael's, but this is also a discontinued colorway. So they don't sell it anymore. And I thought it was cute to make scrunchies with because it looked a lot like the original one that I saw in the post, like these, the multicolor. So that's why I went to look for my multicolor yarn and did these at first. And then eventually I was like, oh, let me see what it looks like on a solid. Yeah, these are also wool blend. Yeah, it's a wool blend because it's a sock yarn. So it's meant to be like durable. These are the last ones. Bandana time. Okay, we're doing a little non-linear storytelling here because I actually worked on these bandanas first. Months ago, when I found all this it was a lot of cotton yarn. I wanted to make bandanas, summer bandanas, but I didn't want to do my normal like granny square bandanas that I've sold a lot, just because I wanted something that was like different than what I've usually made. And I've been on more of a knitting kick than crochet lately. And I hunted down on Ravelry to try and find the perfect knit bandana, which I ended up finding on the Harry Knits page of her 3 bandanas. I bought all 3, but I'm only selling these 2, which the reason why I'm selling them, I got permission. I asked her directly in an email if I can sell them, and she said yes. I'm very grateful for it. The reason why I even thought about selling these is because I kept making them because they are so fun to make. This was one of my first ones because the strings are a little bit different than the rest of the other strings will be. But I'm sorry, you cannot tell me that is not gorgeous. And the thing that I like about these two is that the drape is so good. This was one of the first ones that I made. So pretty. I got obsessed with knitting lace now because of her patterns. It's so fun. This was the first time that I tried making like knitting lace. Why did I never try it before? I made so many of these. And there's even a couple of them that I didn't put in this drop because either I didn't finish them or I didn't love them. But I have like maybe 4 others that I've made that aren't in here. But this was another one of my first early ones, which all of these are made with 100% cotton, but they're more of like a premium cotton, not a like Lily Sugar and Cream kitchen cotton, which is why they drape so well. But here's the other thing is that on all of my bandanas, I have taken the time to soak them and block them so that way they are like so soft and like the drape is spectacular. Another one of these that I want to talk about is a I think I'm now a Kobu apologist. I know. I was such a Kobu hater, but you cannot tell me. Wait, is this the right direction? No. That Kobu was not made for these purposes. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That is stunning. And I kind of broke my yarn ban because I wanted to get Kobu from the store and I didn't have any because I didn't like it at the time. So I had to buy some. I'm sorry, I know. But is it not worth me being a filthy liar and breaking my own ban for these? Hmm? Like, look at that drape. So good. So when I made all of these too, I reached a point to where I kind of felt it in my bones of like, I'm gonna get burnt out on making these. I'm gonna make these and then never ever want to make them ever again because I'm just making them so much. And then that's when I moved to the scrunchies. And then on top of this, separately, I did make some washcloths that I did want to have in this release because I wanted to use up the kitchen cotton that I had, but I just didn't super. I don't love them. Like I'll probably take them to markets so that way people can fill them and use them, but they're three of them and they're different colors but the same pattern. And I just didn't I wanted to put them together in like a pack or something, but it just didn't come together. So they're not part of this drop. But this drop accidentally ended up being like natural fibers and more of like luxurious type of items, which I don't know, something about this drop really is showing me that like I've leveled up in a way that I can now bring to my shop because I've, you know, I know I can do this and I know that I can knit t-shirts and sweaters. But I think to me to be able to like make such a basic item or make such a simple item, but it's like luxurious almost is more impactful to me than if I were to like I don't know, knit this super complicated color work, lace work, whatever. Like I see those and I admire them so much, but I know that that's just not me. Like it's just not my style. So I really like that I can take a simple item and like elevate it a little bit more. And I like it too that I can make these items such as scrunchies that are 100% merino wool. A lot of these are 100% superwash merino wool, which is a really nice yarn. Like I can guarantee you the Malabrigo and this Creo yarn is like $26 a skein. And here I can make a scrunchie and take my time and make something really nice that can be in the hands of someone else and like you can have a really cool scrunchie that's handmade and made out of really nice material. I love it. I also think it's kind of funny that these are like now go to items because I went from crocheting bandanas to knit bandanas and then knit scrunchies to crochet scrunchies. So the flip flop is funny to me. It's not funny, but I don't know, noteworthy. To build off of where I left off with making these bandanas, I've still been making these scrunchies. Like anytime that I find a yarn in my bin that I'm like, ooh, that'd be pretty, I just make a scrunchie. That's what I did with these ones, and that's why I made a second of these orange ones, just because it's such an easy project for me to pick up and make. The next pattern that I found that I'm obsessed over is this rose petals bandana. This is the third one that I'm making. The first one that I made out of afternoon cotton, Premier afternoon cotton, and it is perfect. But it's not a part of this release yet because I want to make more and not just put out one. So then the second one that I made, it was made out of 1970s vintage yarn that I got in one of my like yarn bins that I get. You know what? Well, I went to go pick up my cat. Let me go get these to show you because I think they're really neat. Okay. I figured I was up. I got these to show you. So the first one is this vintage yarn that I did some Googling, and apparently it's from 1971 to 1974, 75, because of the labeling, the names that are on it, it doesn't have a barcode. So when labels don't have a barcode, that's how you know that it's before a certain type of date. And it is this yarn, which is showing up as a really like hot red on camera, but it's more of like a reddish pink. So this was going to be the second one that I was going to put up for sale. However, I don't know how to count. And I think we've gone over this before, that one of these little petal things is not like the other. So that, first of all, that was my like, I don't really want to sell this because it's not like perfect. Secondly, the first time I made it, it was too small compared to the first one that I made. So I blocked it and I was like, it's still not as big as I want. So I attached yarn to it again right here. I did one more row of these petals and I called it good. But yeah, I think this one might just be for me because I'm so obsessed with these. Like, I'm sorry. Or like, doing something like that. Obsessed. Or I could be like the cute fashion girlies. Something like that. Right? It's so cute. It's so versatile. It's cute and I love it. That was the second one that I made. The first one that I made was this one out of the cotton, the Premier Afternoon Cotton, and this is just perfect. This is perfect. It doesn't curl. I think I'm only going to make them out of cotton from now on because it is just so good. It's so good. And it's like cool to the touch because it's cotton. Oh, it's so nice. It's so nice. Like, just I'm obsessed with this pattern. I like this one mostly because I don't have to add ties to it. It's long enough to like tie as needed. And I decided that for a lot of my like smaller skeins of yarn that I find, I'm just gonna make this pattern because the yellow one, this one came from a 50 gram skein. This is all I have left of this yarn. It should be enough. I haven't weighed it, which that would be the smart thing to do, but so I'm just going to use it until it runs out. He was being real bad, so he has to get it's swaddle time. And that's how I'm going to close out this video because someone couldn't behave while not being supervised. I don't even remember what I was saying. I was just probably blabbing on about nothing in particular. He saw a bird. Yeah, so that's what I've been making. That's what I've been enjoying making, and I'm really glad that I can make these items that use yarn that I enjoy is obviously special to me. I would say it's pretty special to me if it has a story on its own. And I can share them with you. And, if you're watching this in a year from now and these items are still in my store and they didn't sell right away, then, they're just waiting for the perfect person. And I really did not want this to come off as like one big commercial or like one QVC commercial. I don't know. I just wanted to talk about what I'm making, why I make it, why I like it, what it's made out of, and a little bit about each one. So, hope you enjoyed. I don't know what's going to come next, to be fully honest. I've tried making project videos like I talked about the sock one, but every time that I try to record this like a project video, I just don't finish it because I just don't like, I don't know, something in my soul is like not loving it. Versus when I just pick up, you know, a pattern to do and I'm like in my pajamas and I don't want to record myself doing anything. And then I end up making a dozen items just set to release. So maybe this will just become a place that I talk about my items that I've already made rather than taking you with me on making items. I don't know. But either way, I appreciate you being here to listen to me talk about it all and let me know. I don't know. Let me know. I don't know. Let me know what you think, I guess. Yeah. All these will be for sale, are currently for sale on my website, zombieandco.com. I still have a clearance section of items on there, which again, if you're seeing this in a year and there's like nothing there and you're like, girl, there's no clearance. Okay, I know. I'm sorry. Okay. Told you, I don't like time-stamped videos. I just wanted to talk about this stuff. Thank you for watching. All in all, again, I'm going to say it 1,000 times because I just record stuff and hope people watch. I just make stuff and hope people buy. I just want to share it with the world. So I want to share my items with the world. I want to share the story behind my items with the world and sharing this video with you. So I hope you have a good day. And I'm going to go back to working on this other bandana. Oh, Frankie. Frankie keeps coming for all my sign offs. And oh, no, she's not happy. Anyway, hope you have a good day. And I will see you in the next one, whenever that is. But I hope to see you there. Okay, bye.